We have some great news to get into from the Warriors' first preseason game and win over the Los Angeles Lakers. But before we get into that, wish Jonathan Kuminga a happy birthday. Turns 23 today. Get those HBDJKs in the comment section because he had a pretty good showing in his first preseason game for the Dubs this year, which we'll talk about in just a second. What's going on, Dub Nation? You're watching Warriors Today by Chat Sports. I am your host, Tyler Smith, and for the first time in the 25-26 season, or at least preseason, we saw your Golden State Warriors. Now, they played the Los Angeles Lakers, got a win, 111-103, but a lot of the Lakers' best players didn't necessarily play in this one. No LeBron James, no Luka Doncic, no Marcus Smart either, their new addition in the backcourt, and no DeAndre Ayton either, one of their free agent additions this offseason. But in Warriors' case, we can look at a couple of things that we saw from this game. One, we saw a starting lineup that is pretty familiar to Warriors fans so far. The first starting lineup Steve Kerr trotted out this season is Steph Curry, Brandon Podziemski, Jimmy Butler, Moses Moody, and Draymond Green. Now, this is one of the lineups that Golden State had a lot of success with last season after making the Jimmy Butler trade, but I know Warriors fans are not going to love the first five this season having Draymond Green there once again at the center position. I mean, adding Al Horford, having Quinn Post heading into year two, there were thoughts that maybe we could see a bigger lineup for Golden State here, but they decided to go with something that is a little more comfortable. I don't think this is going to be a starting five that is finalized, is permanent by any means, to be honest with you guys, because that is just what Golden State is comfortable with. They have a couple of new free agent additions and whatnot that have come in, but they haven't really gotten all the way acclimated. Kuminga himself has only been to a couple of practices at this point, so to expect those guys to all be in the starting lineup right away for Golden State would be naive. So we can wait a little bit. I'm sure Steve Kerr will have some tweaks to that starting five as the regular season gets closer and as we get far into this year's campaign. Now, before we get into more news from this game, make sure you are subscribed to Warriors Today by Chat Sports. We upload daily Warriors videos right here on YouTube. Breaking news coverage. If the Warriors make a move or if somebody gets injured, we're going to have you guys with a video that instant. Also, we're bringing you guys live watch parties this season. Unfortunately, couldn't do one for the Warriors' first preseason game, but when the regular season rolls around, we're bringing you guys live play-by-play of Golden State games. It's all 100% free coverage. And join the 98,000 now Warriors fans who are subscribed. We are almost at our next milestone of 98,500 subscribers here on the channel. Just need 198 diehard members of Dub Nation. Go down below, hit that subscribe button for free, informative, entertaining Warriors content every single day. Alrighty, we got our first look at Al Horford. Big Al Horford playing Golden State hoops, wearing number 20 for the first time. And it was really awesome, man. He was absolutely a spark plug for this Golden State team. He's constantly moving around, and any, thoughts or concerns about Al Horford, 39 years old, being able to move out there, yeah, he dispelled those very quickly. It wasn't the most flashy stat line for Horford, but you could feel his presence specifically on the defensive end. He did knock down one of his 2 3-point attempts on the night. Maybe he was 1 for 3 in that department, actually. 4 rebounds on the night, 3 assists, so showcasing the basketball IQ already and fit within this Warriors offense. 4 stocks, 3 blocks, 1 steal. I mean, the first block that he had was a volleyball spike all the way out near half court, ended up being a plus 13 in the 14 minutes that he plays. Seamless fit. He was everywhere defensively, whether it was help defense. I believe Draymond Green had ended up getting caught in the air by Nate Williams of the LA Lakers, and Al Horford was there to be able to recover and reject that shot or deter it. And he had another isolation play where a guy tried to take the ball to the basket on him, and he made him put up a pretty rough-looking shot. So, I mean, any concerns about Al Horford's versatility defensively? I already told you guys this before. He was one of the best isolation defenders in the NBA last year at his age and defending on wings. So it's going to be an awesome fit here in Golden State, both on the offensive end and the defensive end. And Steve Kerr has already taken notice of it. He said this: "It's more of a sign of his basketball IQ than it is him flying around trying to impress anybody. He's just always in the right spot. He had 3 block shots. The 2 that I remember, he just rotated over perfectly. Recognized the late shot clock. Knew exactly where he was, what he needed to do. He's been around for a long time. He's seen everything, and it comes very naturally to him." He also talked about the floor spacing ability and called the Horford addition a fun one. And, I mean, there isn't many players in this league that have a higher basketball IQ than Al Horford here. And it's not only Steve Kerr who's taking notice of this stuff. It's Steph, taking notice as well, as he was hit a couple of times by Al Horford on some nice passes. He said, obviously, he has a high IQ, an experienced championship caliber player that can fit with any lineup out there. He gives us space. He gives us presence on the defensive end. You saw the pass he made to me out in the corner on the give and go. That's just an unspoken chemistry that will continue to get better. He's multidimensional as a 5-man. Excited to see what that looks like for me, for Jimmy, for JK, and Draymond. Any lineup, you can throw him out there at the 5, and he lifts the group. It wasn't even just the 5 spot that Horford was playing in this game, too. Steve Kerr was mixing and matching some certain lineups out there. He actually had Horford also playing power forward next to Quentin Post in this matchup. So that would be something that I'd really be intrigued to see here, have Golden State with 2 floor spacing bigs out there. And we know how well that Horford can move. He can run along the baseline. He can run on the low block or at the high post as well. And Quinn Post can operate on the perimeter too in those scenarios. So Golden State can give you a ton of different looks now with Al Horford in the roster. Can play with some of the non-floor spacing players to give them a boost there. Can play him next to floor spacers like a Quentin Post as well. Super, super excited to see how Al Horford continues to be implemented in this Steve Kerr rotation. Show some love to Big Al. Type his new jersey number down in the comment section. Give me some 20s down below to show some new love to the new Warriors center here. I think who will end up being the starting center at some point for Golden State. But for right now, I'm just loving what he's showing in his first couple of minutes for Golden State. Now, the player of the game for the Dubs in this one, Moses Moody. Shout out to Moody here. 19 points, had a steal in the game. Very efficient shooting night for him. 7 of 9 from the field, 5 of 7 from three-point range, a plus 21 overall in the 15 minutes that he got to get out there as well. But I'm going to temper expectations a little bit with Moses Moody here because we've seen him be a volume scorer, a bucket getter in the preseason before. We saw him have some nice stretches in the regular season as well last year for sure. But once it got toward the tail end of it and the Warriors really needed to win ball games to secure a spot out of the play-in, which they didn't do, and then the postseason rolled around, Moses Moody was not good. I mean, borderline unplayable on the offensive end in some scenarios. Now, the reason I say to temper expectations is because we just look back to a year ago and the 2024-25 preseason. Moody averaged 15.5 points per game on 39.4 from 3. Clearly, we know he didn't do that in the regular season for the entire 82-game stretch. So, we're going to temper expectations here. It's against lesser competition. And, I mean, look, if Moses Moody can shoot 38% for an entire season, that would be the best of his career, and I would be more than welcoming on that front. So, shout out to Moses Moody for getting some buckets here. Good start for him, but going to take it with a grain of salt here as he was doing the same thing last preseason as well. Next, how did Jonathan Kuminga look? I'm sure that's why everybody clicked on today's video, because we have to talk about how Kuminga played and what Steve Kerr thought of his first performance since re-signing with the Golden State Warriors on a new deal this offseason. We'll talk about that just around the corner. First, though, you and I make decisions every single day. Being right on Prize Picks, that can get you paid because it's the best daily fantasy sports app in the game. This episode is brought to you by Prize Picks, and it's my favorite daily fantasy sports app because it's just the best. All you guys got to do is pick a lineup of 2 to 6 players and just pick more or less on their projected stats. PrizePicks offers awesome deals as well, like a max discount where they'll just completely 99% off / a stat projection, and you guys can have a greened out square, easy money. Basketball season's around the corner. Football season is in full swing. Baseball postseason in full swing as well. You can mix and match all these different sports and lineups. And PrizePicks always wants to make it easier for you guys to win real money in real time. Like a free $50 in lineups when you play your first $5 lineup, but you got to use our promo code CLNS. PrizePicks puts their users first, so all withdrawals are fast, safe, and secure. They offer Venmo, Apple Pay, MasterCard, and more for quick and easy deposits into your account this upcoming basketball season. And they already have projections out for the opening night game for your Golden State Warriors. I got Jimmy Butler more than 6 rebounds. Go out there and hunt the glass, JB. Luka Doncic, unfortunately, you do have to put 2 teams in this lineup here, so I decided to go Luka more than 29 points. Stephen Curry, yeah, he's going to have more than 24.5 points in this season opener. You can tell my picks or fade them. Just do it at Prize Picks. Download the app today and use the code CLNS for $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code CLNS for $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks. It's good to be right. You know what's good to be right? Jonathan Kuminga looking engaged and looking like he's buying in to this new stint with the Golden State Warriors. Also, changing his number to number 1, which I forgot to mention at the top of today's show. So is there a new aura around Jonathan Kuminga? The jury's still out on that, but man, in this game, he was solid. Only had 5 points, hit 1 of 2 of his three-point attempts. It was a walk-in trailing 3. Defenders were sagging off. He's going to launch it, and it looked pretty good on that one. Also, his 2-point make that he had was a nice up and under move. He got his defender way up in the air, a little step through, and had to kind of hang in the air for a second because he was pretty far outside the low block. But a nice touch off the glass there to get that one to go. That's not really where I was impressed with Jonathan Kuminga, though, in this ball game. How about the 6 rebounds from JK, man? That's one thing that we're just begging to see from Jonathan Kuminga because we know he can do it. We know he has the physical tools, the athleticism to be able to go out there and be a dominant rebounder in this game. 6 rebounds in 15 minutes in his first preseason action. Love, love, love to see it. On one of those rebounds, his only offensive rebound of the game, he actually had a sick whip pass to the corner. Brandon Podziemski, wide open 3-point attempt. That was one of his 4 assists on the night. And the passing ability was really where I saw Kuminga shine in this one, especially in transition. We get the rebound, or we get the outlet pass, go up the floor, nice bounce pass to Buddy Hield in transition. Another one to Brandon Podziemski in transition. Nice up and under layup for him. So Kuminga getting his teammates involved here was the big standout of his performance for me. Also had a block in this game as well. Nice help defense for Golden State as he was seeing ball, seeing man. They went up for the shot, and he just spiked that thing on the floor. Steve Kerr had this to say about his performance. I thought he played well. Obviously, he missed the first couple days of practice, so he was a little behind on some of the stuff we were doing. But I thought JK played well. Made a couple of great passes in transition. That second and third quarter, the game really flowed for us. And our transition, spacing, which we've been working on all week, was great. So that was the best part of the game, those 2 quarters. And I like some of the plays that JK made during those stretches. The blueprint has been established for Jonathan Kuminga to have success on this Warriors team and for the Warriors to have success with Jonathan Kuminga on the team. Play defense, pass the ball, rebound the basketball. It's that simple because guess what? Everything else is going to come so easy for Jonathan Kuminga. The easy dump-offs for dunks. He'll get his isolation games. I'm sure they're going to run lineups with Kuminga running the second unit. It's just going to be him as the offensive engine kind of fueling Golden State offensively during those stretches. But when Steph, when Jimmy, when Draymond, when those guys are on the floor and Kuminga's sharing it with them, the blueprint has been established. Be a complementary player, and he saw real success in last night's game. Both sides want to make the most of the situation. We know the reality. Kuminga has a trade restriction that's going to be lifted on January 15th. Golden State's going to explore trade avenues for Kuminga. I mean, unless things are just through the roof, the Warriors are the first seed in the Western Conference, and Kuminga's playing the best ball of his career. Golden State's going to look for a trade if that's not the case, which is pretty likely at this point. So both sides have to buy in and make the most of the situation here. It looks like we've gotten a good start on the first preseason game. Grade Jonathan Kuminga's performance for me versus the Lakers. A, B, C, D, or F. What did you guys have to think about JK's first game, rocking number 1 for your Golden State Warriors? Comment down below the grade you have. Now, to round out today's show, let's just talk quickly about the Warriors' big 3. Not much to see besides a really nice, efficient Steph Curry game here. 14 points, 5 of 7 from the field, 3 of 5 from 3. Jimmy Butler did some good work as well. Had 4 rebounds in this one, 2 assists. Jimmy just doing his kind of directorial work on the offensive end for Golden State. Draymond, not so much an efficient game from him. 2 points, 1 for 6 in the field, 0 of 2 from 3. But I'll tell you guys this. This is just 3 guys that I'm just not worried about whatsoever. That's why I threw them at the end of today's show, because they're 35-year-old veterans. There's not one thing that I could take away from preseason on any of them unless they were to look hobbled and injured, and none of the 3 do. So those are just 3 guys that I am not worried about whatsoever when it comes to the preseason here. Now, as far as what they will look like in the regular season, Steve Kerr had said this about Al Horford when referencing him, because the Celtics, he had been playing really less than 70 games for the most part over the last half decade of his career, and it seems like the Warriors are going to have a similar approach with Horford and some of the vets at the top there with Curry, Draymond, and Butler. He said that we have to preserve all our older guys as best we can to have them ready for the playoffs. That's the idea. So probably having Horford play a little bit less than 30 minutes a game, probably around that 60, 65 games this year, considering he's healthy for the whole season. And similar things go with Draymond, Jimmy, and Steph, just albeit their minutes load will probably be raised a little bit higher. Now, look, it was a nice appetizer, but I'm ready for the real deal to be on our plates here. If you're ready for real Warriors basketball, to return to the hardwood. Go down below, show me, like today's video, smash the thumbs up icon if you're ready for the Dubs to really have some consequential ball back out there on the court. And make sure you are subscribed to the channel. That will do it for today's show. YouTube.com/WarriorsTV. We'll have another video for you tomorrow because there's some juicy trade rumors that are on the horizon for your Dubs. We'll see you guys then. And as always, let's go Dubs.